Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And I will see them in today. We got an episode for you guys here, man. The drama just continues on, so make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't already. Now, one of the longest running beefs in NBA circles is the beef between Stephen A. Smith and Kyrie Irving. It is no secret that Stephen A. Smith is not a fan of some of the things that Kyrie Irving says and does. I'm sure he loves him as a basketball player, as a basketball fan, just watching him play basketball because it's very entertaining to watch Kyrie Irving play basketball. But Stephen A. Smith is definitely not a fan of some of the things that Kyrie Irving says and does. His single biggest argument from all the things, all the criticisms that he's levied at Kyrie Irving, that he's brought to his feet or his doorstep, whatever, I think Stephen A. Smith's biggest criticism of Kyrie Irving is that he believes Kyrie Irving looks for reasons to take off from work or not to go to work. I think at the core of it, that's what I think it is, because he keeps bringing up that point. And Kyrie has this thing where I believe Kyrie Irving likes to buck the system, right? And I think that's where, I think at the heart of the problems with Kyrie, I believe that's his biggest issue with him. Now, recently, there was a lot of conversation surrounding Kyrie Irving, surrounding his contract negotiations with Brooklyn. Some people speculated that he would leave the Brooklyn Nets, that they were tired of him, that he was going to leave his player option on the table and go sign with another team like the Lakers with a the mid-level exception. But obviously there are other machinations that you can put out there to be able to raise that number. I was just reading an article just this morning today, and they were talking about NBA. You know how NBA contracts work, and there's a particular provision that they have out there, which is called they have certain they have teams can use like non-tax player mid-level exceptions, biannual exceptions, and these different things where you can increase the amount of money that a player can get. So there's so many different machinations that these guys can use. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all of that technical jargon, but whatever the case is, you could accept $6 million, probably make a little bit more, make a little bit less, whatever, right? So there was all of these discussions, but ultimately, reports came out that there were no teams that were interested in Kyrie Irving outside the Los Angeles Lakers, so he opted in, and he decided to remain a Brooklyn Net for the next season, and then not play for a new contract, essentially, right? Essentially, the Brooklyn Nets won the game of chicken. So after he made that decision, yesterday, Stephen A. Smith, who has been off this week, from what I can tell, reacted to that, I believe, from his house, right, based on how he was dressed. And he has some comments to make about Kyrie Irving deciding to opt in. So for those of you who missed what Stephen A. Smith had to say about Kyrie Irving, it's very important to give this video context. Take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say here. Then we're going to come back and really unpack this thing. Take a listen to that.
Did you see it? I saw the news. I know you saw the news. Oh, Kyrie Irving, you opted in after all. Took that money, didn't you? 1 year deal, y'all. 1 year. $36.9 million, exercises his player option. So what does that mean? To y'all, it means Kyrie's going to be a Brooklyn Net. You know what it means to me? I guess he's a peon too, huh? So you got to go to work. You got to show up to work. You actually got to go to work. You got to go up there and earn that money. You got to show up to work. Because even if you plan on leaving the Brooklyn Nets, because we all know that Kyrie doesn't plan on staying in Brooklyn for the full year. He's offended. He's appalled. He's put back by the fact that the Brooklyn Nets actually said you have to show up to earn your money. We know that offends him. So you're thinking, hey, guess what? I'm going to get the hell up out of here. Philly somewhere, they willing to give me a 3-year guaranteed deal. The Clippers could get their hands on me. They want me. Maybe I could get to the Los Angeles Clippers. Who knows? Maybe somehow, some way, the Los Angeles Lakers will be able to work out a sign and trade. Guess what, Kyrie? No matter what options you may think you have down the road, it all starts with you having to show up to work first. You show up to work, then you got a future where you're going to make your money. You don't show up to work, you're stuck. Because even if somebody wants you, they're still going to require that you show up to work, which means those long-term commitments, that guaranteed 4 years over $200 million that was waiting for you, ain't going to work that way. According to Kyrie, anybody in that position pretty much is a peon. Funny how karma works, doesn't it?
So that's what he had to say about Kyrie Irving deciding to opt into his final year of his deal, worth, I believe, $36 million, roughly that amount. So that's what he said. Then Kyrie Irving took to social media or Twitter, wherever, to respond to what Stephen A. Smith had to say on his post, right? And this is what Kyrie Irving had to say in response to what Stephen A. Smith said. He says, as Stephen A. Smith, "You're going to have to explain yourself to people in your generation. I'm not around many 50-plus-year-olds that speak and act like you do. So this is new for me. But I am sure my father and my uncles can meet you on your level better than I can. We know you, Stephen." Right? So that's what Kyrie Irving had to say to Stephen A. Smith. And then Stephen A. Smith sent a lengthy response to Kyrie Irving. He wrote, "Oh, you've got it twisted, bro. Big time. I don't have to explain a damn thing to anyone, especially you and your father!" Exclamation. "Your Uncle Rod Strickland is another matter. I love that brother, and I profoundly respect him always. As for you, when you have a level, let me know, because I am not sure you have one off the court. Either way, I have a wish. One day, you stop hiding behind the public support you receive and fess up to the shenanigans you engage in, leaving folks hanging like laundry. Be honest about what you've truly been doing. Until then, let's confront one another one-on-one for the world to see. Your truth up against mine in a public forum for everyone to judge. Name the time and place and I'll show up. I keep receipts, bro. Show up. You do know what it is, don't you? If you don't know before, I know you know now. Now that you're after your money, you took for granted to be waiting for you. See you in the fall." So that's what Stephen A. Smith had to say to Kyrie Irving, man. Here are my thoughts on this exchange, and I have a few. Essentially, from what I was able to glean from that, Kyrie Irving said his fathers and uncles would speak to Stephen A. Smith because they're on the same level. And by level, I'm assuming he's probably referring to something that has to do with their ages. That's what I'm assuming. And I think that Stephen A. Smith is saying that basically, listen, man, I don't have to speak to your dad, even if we're on the same level. And he basically told him to stop hiding behind his supporters and basically fess up, man, to all of the things that you've been doing pre-mandate. Because probably, I think some people are going to latch on to the comments that he had to make about the mandate. And for me, I'm one of these people that's actually trying to move on from this mandate talk. Like, it's over with, man. I'm tired of talking about it. And essentially, he dared him to come on his show and speak to him face to face about it. Listen, I think these guys that are calling out these media analysts should have a sit down with them and talk to them. Like, the back and forth is kind of getting corny. One person that is not dodging the smoke, that has extended so many olive branches, so many invitations, is Skip Bayless. He recently invited, Draymond Green and Russell Westbrook to come talk to him. We haven't heard anything yet. We haven't heard Draymond Green respond to him. We don't know what Draymond Green thinks, but he's invited both of them, right? So this thing of going back and forth in the media and dissing this guy and saying this, listen, if you feel so strongly about these people, go there, sit down and have a civil conversation with them. If you're not going to have a civil conversation with them in a public forum, then talk to him behind closed doors, but just have the conversation and be done with it. The back and forth, yeah, it's great entertainment, but after a while, it's like, well, listen, these guys you've been going at, they're basically calling you down to the carpet and saying, okay, if you feel this strongly about me and the things that I've been saying about you, then come talk to me. But if you're not going to talk to me, what is the point of us going back and forth on social media when we're never going to see each other? All we're going to be saying is this guy's saying this, that guy's saying this, this guy's that. So to me, if I'm Kyrie Irving or Draymond Green or Russell Westbrook, whoever has a problem with the next person, just go sit down and have a conversation with them like other athletes have done. Terrell Owens, when he had a disagreement with Skip Bayless, what did he do? He went on Undisputed. They had Shannon Sharp there. They spoke about it. They had Chad Ochocinco. He was there. They went and spoke about it. Chris Bosh, he went there. They cleared the air. They spoke about it. So if you feel this strongly about Stephen A., go talk to the guy. Sit down, talk to the guy. Clear it out. Air it out, right? I'm sure it's going to be very messy. They're going to be saying some disrespectful stuff. I'm 100% sure about that. But at least let the conversation be had and let's be done with it. These are my thoughts. Now, some people will disagree. Some people will say, well, Kyrie Irving shouldn't entertain him and blah, 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 blah. Well, then if you're not going to entertain him, then don't respond at all. And the fact of the matter is this, and let me just say this. It's not every single thing you need to respond to. It's not every single statement that's made about you got to go out there and respond to. Sometimes just ignore it. Have some thick skin, for goodness sake, man. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. If they ask you about it, and that's one thing, right? You're answering a question, that's one thing you can respond to it. But is it every single time someone says something about you, you got to respond? And if the answer is yes, then while you're responding, you might as well just go to the source and talk to the source. These are my thoughts. Who knows? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.